Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the life of one of history's most influential thinkers, Plato. You've heard the name. You've probably heard of his famous student, Aristotle. But who was the man behind the philosophy that shaped Western thought for over 2 millennia? Born around 428 BC in Athens, Plato came from a powerful and aristocratic family. His birth name was actually Aristocles, but he earned the nickname Platon, meaning broad, likely due to his robust physique or his broad forehead, from a young age. He was destined for a life in politics, but a chance encounter changed everything. He met Socrates, the eccentric, brilliant philosopher who wandered the streets of Athens, questioning everything and everyone. Plato was captivated. He became Socrates' most devoted student, absorbing his teacher's methods of inquiry and his relentless pursuit of truth and virtue. However, this mentorship came to a tragic end. In 399 BC, Socrates was sentenced to death by the Athenian state, a moment that deeply scarred Plato and turned him away from politics forever. He saw the execution of the wisest and most just man he knew as a catastrophic failure of democracy. After Socrates' death, Plato traveled extensively through Italy, Sicily, and Egypt, broadening his knowledge. When he returned to Athens nearly a decade later, he founded a school just outside the city walls and a grove dedicated to the hero Academus. This school became known as the Academy, and it wasn't just any school. It's often considered the very first university in the Western world. For over 900 years, the Academy was the center of learning for mathematics, astronomy, and, of course, philosophy. It was here that he wrote his famous dialogues, like the Republic, where he explored concepts of justice, reality, and the ideal state, using his beloved teacher Socrates as the main character. So, how did this philosophical giant meet his end? The outline mentions him being killed, but that's actually a common misconception. Unlike his teacher, Plato's death wasn't dramatic or violent. The historical records are a bit fuzzy, but the most widely accepted account is that he died peacefully in his sleep around the age of 80, in 348 BC. Some ancient sources say he passed away at a wedding feast, others that he was simply at home, working on his writings until the very end. There was no conspiracy, no dramatic execution, just a brilliant mind peacefully concluding a long and incredibly fruitful life. Plato's real legacy wasn't in his death, but in his ideas. His theory of forms, his political philosophy, and his contributions to ethics and logic have echoed through the ages. He taught Aristotle, who in turn taught Alexander the Great. His work laid the very foundation upon which Western philosophy was built. So, while his end was quiet, his impact was a thunderclap that continues to resonate today. He showed us that the most powerful life isn't always the one that ends with a bang, but the one lived in the pursuit of wisdom. Thanks for joining me on this journey back to ancient Athens. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you won't miss our next exploration into history's greatest minds. See you in the next video.